What's up? I didn't sleep on you. I didn't forget. We are here to talk the film Marvel MCU The Black Panther. Step into the spotlight. Now, when we started this film off, when they started the film off, but when we started the video off, I was giving people a chance to get in here. Armand Bell, what's going on? You the first one I seen chat and post so far. Big Will is even here. Yep, so we getting ready to talk Black Panther. The movie plot, characters, the whole nine. Now, T'Challa, who's known as the Black Panther. So far, they got everything about him right. Getting Ryan Coogler to direct this film was epic because he's so keen to detail. Ryan Coogler, who's from Oakland, from the Bay, who's very good with working with Michael B. Jordan personally, doing his thing from Fruitvale Station, which is like one of his first films, and had Forrest Whitaker actually fund his movie. Well, that's why you see Forrest Whitaker in this movie playing a very important character, as well as a lot of African Americans in this film. A lot of Africans in this film. People who are actually from Africa. They brought a lot of African traditions into this film, as you're supposed to doing a film that's based in Africa. Wakanda is how should I put this? It is a city, but it's not where people would think. It's actually underground and hidden. That's why most people don't know about their technology. They're recognized as a country, but they really have their own political world, and they live basically underground. That's where the real society takes place. And now, because of certain incidents that's going to be happening, that's why the song Step Into the Spotlight you keep hearing that, because now he's going to have to step up. He's a man who was a prince. Now he has to become king. He's orphaned, and now he has to take responsibility to rule in a nation. So we're going to see what this film is going to take place right after Civil War. He goes back, and now he's going to have the duties of his father, who was the Black Panther before him. And his leadership is going to be questioned because many didn't see him as strong enough. Other words, wise, weak, to take the lead and rule. Now, a lot of people are watching this for a lot of different reasons. This cast is the largest African American cast ever with this type of movie budget. They want to make 3 films out of Black Panther. They want to see how the first film do right out of the gate, because they're taking such a risk doing the story right by its... See, the film had another director beforehand. We're not even going to mention. But he wasn't black. Let's just say that. And his idea was to whitewash some of the characters in the film. They couldn't do it. They would not allow it. And I'd like to thank Marvel. I want to thank Marvel for that. Because Marvel would have been crucified They were already taking abuse for the backlash of what happened with so now, hold on one second. Okay, there we go. I had to switch to Wi-Fi. So everything changed. What's up? So everything changed when they brought in Ryan Coogler. Once they brought in Ryan Coogler, he basically wanted to keep the film, which was already about 60%, 70% African American. The Black Panther comic was filmed in Africa, where all the characters were basically black. There were very few characters at all that were Caucasian. Circus was in there, and he was one of the enemies in there because he was pillaging, for the vibranium, which only grows in Wakanda. Now, when Ryan Coogler took over, he was going to make sure that the film has a solid script and be directed and kept to the tradition of how the movie is supposed to be seen. African traditions are going to be upheld so that people wouldn't say, okay, this ain't Africa. You're going to see a lot of relatable things to Africa in this film. That's what Ryan Coogler does. He learns the customs of the nationality and the actual country, and actually hire people that are from actually Africa. Now, let's get to now that the political stuff is done, let's get to the actual plot. I don't know. I don't think Storm makes an appearance. I really don't think that this is a film where they need like surprises. I think we kind of know what's going on here. He's always bringing a lot of people along, Ryan Coogler does for his films, but now he gets to work with Lupita, and she's going to be playing Nakia. And Nakia, she's in the Royal Bodyguard, the Dora Milaje, the all-women security force for Black Panther. But she got kicked out when she became obsessed with Black Panther and tried to kill his girlfriend. She hooked up with Killmonger, who's going to be played by Michael B. Jordan, and he's an enemy of Black Panther because he thinks he should be in rule and power. He doesn't think that the prince is strong enough to rule Wakanda. So when she teams up with him, she's going to change her name and get superpowers and become a villain named Malice. Now, there's another girl named Diana Guado from The Walking Dead. She plays Michonne. She would play, what's her name? Okoye. She's another, the Dora Milaje. But she don't betray the king. She don't betray the order. Tupac's mom. Yeah, Tupac's mom. She doesn't betray the order. She follows the rulership. And that T'Challa is the king now. He's the rightful, by birthright, he is the king. But I think they have a rite of passage where he has to fight them in order to become king. Now, Forrest Whitaker, he's in this as well. He plays Zuri. He's like the elder statesman that's in Wakanda. And, you know, they got a lot of people in here who are politically tied up in a lot of different things. And you get to see how the order is. And Angela Bassett, you saw her in the trailer. She plays T'Challa's mother, Ramonda, the queen mother of Wakanda. And then he has a sister named Shuri. And she became a female Black Panther in the comic books. And she became queen once her mom died. That's just another side note. And Andy Serkis is back as Ulysses Claw. Now, Killmonger hates him too. Even though Killmonger's the bad guy, he hates him because Claw actually enslaved his family and traditionally replaced his hand with a sound-based weapon that's going by the name of Claw. That's one you seen with Ultron cut his arm off. Oh, the movie is going to be about 2 hours. 2 hours and 20 minutes. Well, see, you're looking at a situation where there's a lot of different things happening in society in Wakanda. There's a lot of pressure being put on him by rulership, and that's normally here. It's just a transition of power where other people were ready to pounce. This wasn't an election. This was a takeover by orphanship when the leader and the king was killed by a bomb. So it was sudden. So that throws a titanic shift back in their country. So while he was here fighting to avenge his father's death, back home, things was getting out of order. So when he went back home, they had to, okay, you're going to be king, but it was challenged. Many people didn't think that T'Challa should have been king. This was the biggest note of that. Well, feminists should love it because in the comic books, he has an all-woman security force. See, the thing is with this is that it becomes bigger enough where you got two enemies coming together. Okay, you got this strong man. He's going to team up and they're going to go up against Black Panther. And he's going to need help from his security force and the CIA. See, people don't understand Wakanda is reclusive and is technologically advanced African nation. And he is the country newest leader. But when you have a challenge for the throne within your own faction of your country, then you got people that want to destroy Wakanda and rule it themselves. and he wants to prevent Wakanda from going into a world war. So that's basically it, ladies and gentlemen. This is a film where you gotta women's gonna have your back. See? You see, the Black Panther comic book, for those who weren't listening earlier, of course I am. I'll be the first one there. But this is what is so interesting. This is more grittier. The comic book, The Black Panther, was raw. It was more gritty. It wasn't like it had to be vertical comics, but it was quite gritty. And that's how I think they're going to make the film. The film's going to be having a lot of grit. I don't think they're going to be able to Disney this one. But I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. And I think it's going to do a lot well than what they anticipated. They're expecting a lot of backlash from the film because of lack of Caucasian characters. People might not go see it. But I rest on a whole different laurel because people love to see the Black Panther character. He was one of the characters they liked the most in Civil War. So I don't know why wouldn't they want to see the character again. And who cared what color they are? Nobody cared when they were all white. I mean, they're in Africa. I mean, the character is black. The people in Africa are black. What do you want them to do? Throw the white king in there from the other part of Africa? Can that be like a suburb of Wakanda? We could write in the white guy? That's why the other director is not doing it. And they got rid of him and Ryan Coogler's doing it. He was going to try to whitewash some characters, and that was not something. He was not happy with the movement of what Marvel was saying. We can't do that. And the Doctor Strange feedback, when they whitewashed the character there, they saw the backlash of that and said, wow, we can't screw this up with Black Panther then. We have one character that's supposed to be black and we make him white. All hell's going to break loose. And that's the double truth. The underground city of Wakanda. It looks like Coruscant. I did what last? Wakanda is more technically advanced than any city in the United States of America, any city in the country, actually. Not just Africa. They are more technically advanced than Tony Stark. That's why Captain America's shield is made of their material. T'Challa is actually strong because of the actual minerals. He actually have vibranium in his bloodstream from the leaves or something in the trees in Wakanda. And when he wears the ring of the Black Panther, it like triggers it and gives him power. That's how he was able to withstand when he was fighting with Bucky, and he was able to jump and kick and do all these extra things, and he could stay with the Winter Soldier. Now, they got the Winter Soldier on ice until they can fix him. So we don't know when he's going to be back. Will he unthaw him for this one? What could be the case? That's Forrest Whitaker character? Yes, I watch Cage. Jessica Jones is more like made her more like a slut bag than anything else. All she cared about was sleeping with Cage, but Kilgrave, he was great on the show. Yeah. Since you guys came here to hang out and talk about the movie, so now that you know what the movie's about, are you interested to go see it? Yeah, I'll make a video talking about, I'll talk about that in a minute. But oh yeah, I like the Luke Cage, but I'm talking about Black Panther. Now I want to show you a couple of things here. Now, this is the guy that was supposed to be, since we all hanging out here, we can show you all additional things as a bonus. That's Baby Driver. From the scene Baby Driver. Did you know Baby Driver was in the finals to be Han Solo for the new Han Solo movie? The standalone Star Wars film Han Solo. He was supposed to be Han Solo. But they chose a whole nother guy to be him. That's the guy they chose. This is the cast for the Star Wars Han Solo film. Donald Glover is playing Lando Calrissian. Now, they chose this guy to be Han, and he's the new Han Solo. Oh, no, this is coming to your movie. To the movie theaters. Now, there's Han. Now, you notice in the movie Baby Driver, in case you ain't seen it, he wore an outfit similar to Han Solo. Because he was supposed to be Han. And he was my choice to be Han. Because I heard he had the job. He auditioned for it like everybody else. They had Miles Teller. And I said, he looks like a young Harrison Ford. He could actually play that role. And in the movie, they say it wasn't done on purpose, but it was because it got people talking about it. They purposely put that jacket on him so he would resemble Han Solo, so that people would talk about it. There's no accidents in Hollywood. There's no accidents in Hollywood. That was a good way to cross-market the film, to get people talking about it. Way to go. So that's the bonus. Do you think this guy here looks more like Harrison Ford? You think he looks more like Harrison Ford than the other guy? Now, I liked him in the movie Hey Caesar. Hail Caesar. He was good in there. Well, until I found out where everything's at. Exactly. He looks old. He looks too old to be Han Solo. Baby Driver looks just like a young Han Solo. Now, this might have come down to acting, too. I think Baby Driver could act, but I don't know if he could pull off Han Solo. You know, he was kind of cocky. And I don't know if he could pull off that role. So it might have come down to that. You know, once again, we just don't know. But we've been 30 minutes strong. We're going to keep it going all night long. Any more questions about these movies before I get off? How many movies has Baby Driver been in? Oh, wow. That I know, maybe like two. Two that I could probably think of. He's been in a couple of movies. He's young. He was in the movie Fault of Our Stars. Remember the one with the book, the cancer movie? Everybody was crying. That's the first time I ever seen him in a film. But he was also in the Insurgent, the Diversion thing. He played the brother. He was what, Aerodyne or something? Her brother, Caleb, the one that ended up being a rat. My favorite Marvel movie. I want to say probably I'm stuck with Winter Soldier. Out of the whole MCU universe, the first Avengers was great, but Winter Soldier, Civil War is up there. Oh, of a new Howard the Duck movie? That's always been talked about, but not. I don't expect to see one. If they bring Howard the Duck in, it would only be in comic relief. I'm one of the people that loved Howard the Duck. We watched Howard the Duck as a kid. We thought it was hilarious. I mean, people probably said the movie was trash, but it was a movie for kids, and we loved it. We thought Howard was hilarious. I'm like, they bring Howard the Duck on, I could watch that 24 hours a day. The Lost City of Zed, you was disappointed with that? Why you was disappointed with the Lost City of Zed? What's next after Infinity War is actually Captain Marvel. You're gonna see the new Guardian of the Galaxy 3 that's coming with Adam Warlock, and Baby Driver may be Adam Warlock. Don't hold me to that, but yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy, that's also another great series. And what makes it great is that they humanize the characters. They all have a story or a background. They actually, you can feel the empathy. And it uses music. It connects them with music that everyone universally can connect to. That's what makes Guardians of the Galaxy click. Plus, it's in space. It's in the universe. You could create. We're tired of seeing everything has to happen on Earth with the superheroes. It's like, look, we read comic books. Most of them were in space.
You were just fired.
I have full custody.
I'm getting a lawyer.
With what money?
Sean Motor Speed. Motor Speed. Motor Speed.
Motor Speed.
Motor Speed.
Motor Speed.
Motor Speed.
Marvel is the same level as Superman.
Marvel is the same level as Superman. Marvel is the same level as Superman. Marvel is the same level as Superman. Marvel is the same level as Superman.
Everybody's gonna be, my ears, I can't take it. I love feedback. Good old feedback. Now, you know they're talking about doing another Fast and Furious movie with just The Rock and Jason Statham in a movie where they do a spinoff with just those two. Yeah, they will do anything to get the money. He might be. That's why he's on ice, remember? So he might end up being the next Captain America. That's why I say next, they've done everything. They just raced a submarine. Every time you think they can't do something, they do something even more stupider. They brought a tank. They brought a airplane down. They jumped out of an airplane and flew in the sky. Then, to top that off, Oh gosh. To top everything off, Venom is with Sony. Not that I know of. I don't think Halle Berry's gonna be with it. So after this, they race on the sub. Next thing you know, Fast and the Furious in space. They be on a spaceship going out in space. Well, come on, Rome. We gotta race the rockets. We gotta be on a mission to Mars. I hate you, Tess. I don't want to go to Mars. Come on, bring your punk butt on. Come on, Rome. We going to Mars. Dun, 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 dun. Fast and Furious in space. We're leaving space tracks on Mars, chasing the bad guys. Just when Earth wasn't enough. Nothing like American muscle on Mars. Even in Mars, you still need 2 position drivers. Family. Yes, I did a movie review for Life. And what Life is the same thing as Alien Covenant. I think Jurassic World 2 is just another way to bring some money in. They'll make new super cool dinosaurs. And when they make the super cool dinosaurs, no, I don't watch Game of Thrones. They're going to make these super cool dinosaurs, and when they do, that's a wrap. There's new toys, new for the kids to buy. Jurassic World looks good. That's about it. Prometheus 2 is Covenant. The name of it was supposed to be called Paradise. It was written back to back. As soon as they wrote, it was one big script. They rarely changed a lot. I don't think they really changed a lot in the script. But the thing is, they changed the name to Alien Covenant. Because, you know, this is where they wanted to go. To see Paradise. To see where they were going. But they ended up turning it into a full-fledged alien type movie when it really wasn't supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be like a 3-part story. I've seen Planet of the Apes. There's a movie review on this same screen thing that you're seeing. Watch the movie review for Planet of the Apes. Well, a lot of movie stories, I mean, some of them were good and some of them were bad. Let me see. Jeez. Like a story on the set. Oh. Trying to think of a good classic one. Somebody was fired. Back to the Future. Eric Stoltz. You know, Eric Stoltz was the original Marty McFly. not Michael J. Fox. Now, we've seen Eric Stoltz in a lot of films since then. He's known. He's the redhead guy from Pulp Fiction, the guy who was selling them the drugs.
Where's Frank? Weed night.
Save money on motorcycle insurance.
Well, Eric Stoltz wasn't really a kid actor. He was the same age as Michael J. Fox. They ended up firing him because he just wasn't the right Marty McFly. That's him as playing Marty. He just didn't look right.
He just said, "I don't think we're getting the laughs that I was hoping we would get." And I looked at Bob and I realized that he was absolutely correct. And I said, "Bob, what do you want to do?"
So I had to make this horrific decision, which was very heartbreaking for everybody. But luckily, I was able to convince the studio to let me reshoot 5 weeks of work.
Now, here's what really went down, because this is the teaser trailer that had Eric Stoltz. So that was the Back to the Future. That was the teaser trailer at the time. Now, here's what actually happened. They never wanted to hire my Stoltz for the job. They never wanted to hire him for the job. They wanted Michael J. Fox, but he was filming Family Ties. So they had to go and get Eric Stoltz, because they was like, "You sure you can't do this?" He was like, "Man, I don't think," Michael J. Fox is like, "I'm going to be exhausted. I don't think I could pull this off because I'm super busy, doing this, and I wouldn't have no time to, to do the shoot for Family Ties." So they were like, "Okay, man, look, we really want you to do this." They offered him more money to do the part. After they tried to do it with Eric Stoltz and it wasn't working, they was like, "Man, we got to get Michael J. Fox. We need Alex P. Keaton. He can make people laugh." I mean, it's just the little things that Michael J. Fox can do. The physical comedy that sold the movie. So what happened was, he was a teen, he was still a teenager at the time when they was filming it. So he would do his scenes in the morning and shoot Back to the Future like at night. And it was exhausting. He was doing like 18-hour days of shooting. So he'll be sleeping on the set. As soon as he get there, he'll go to sleep until it's his time to shoot for the movie. You know, and he was like, man, I gotta take this because I might not ever get it again. So that's how he ended up getting the role. And the rest became history. And I have the ultimate Back to the Future collection with the flux capacitor. Oh yeah. That's the real flux capacitor, baby. Back to the Future. Part 3 was something else. It was different. They went to the Old West and they tried to make a Western out of it. It had its moments, but it lost me a little bit. And it's funny because Eric Stoltz and Michael J. Fox resemble each other. And when he went back in time and played his uncle, because Michael J. Fox played himself like 3 different times, he played a character that looked just like Eric Stoltz. Actually like a redhead guy. And here's something else you probably didn't know about movies. Who remember the 2 Corys? Who remember the 2 Corys? Corey Haim and Corey Feldman. The 2 Corys. Well, here's the thing. The 2 Corys was never intended to be 2 Corys. They didn't know each other. They just drug 1 and drug 2. Hey, don't put that on them, dude. They were sexually abused children. So, but anyway, besides that, we're not going to turn this into that. But the 2 Corys were already never the 2 Corys. Corey Feldman was in the business. You seen him in Goonies. You seen him in movies. And he was getting title roles, and he was in Stand By Me. So he was already doing films without Corey Haim. Corey Haim did Silver Bullet, and then he came into doing a movie, some movie they did when he was real young, Lucas. And here's the thing, is that Corey Feldman will always be up for the roles. And every time Corey Feldman is up for a role, they would screw him over and give the role to Corey Haim. And that's what happened with The Lost Boys. When the Lost Boys came around, rest in peace, Corey Haim. When the Lost Boys came around, the hot kid on the block was this kid who played Lucas. And in the movie Lucas, that role was supposed to go to Corey Feldman too. But these kids, they always would audition together. So they would always see each other because they auditioned around each other. So when it came to do the lead for The Lost Boys, Corey Feldman was told he had the job. He had the title role. He was supposed to play the son in that movie. That ended up going to... Corey Haim didn't even audition. He was there and his agent told him, yeah, they want you to come by. They want you to do test screening. So he's under the impression he's got the role. Which everyone assumes he got. Like, hey, you got the role. You got the film. He was supposed to be the star. He was supposed to be Sam or whatever. And when they make the film, all of a sudden he finds out they were like, another executive came in. He made a change. And this kid, Corey Haim's going to be the starring role. But we're going to keep you in the movie. We promised that. We love your character. We're going to create a character for you. You're going to be his best friend. So he was ticked off. He went from being the star of the movie to a sidekick. And it was Corey Haim, who they really didn't know each other, but they seen each other a lot. So it was, hey, what's up? But he really didn't like him too much because he was still in all his roles. So they ended up becoming buddies on the set of making the film. Next thing you know, they just happened to be in movies together. So it wasn't their fault, but this is how Hollywood worked. And they did the movie Dream a Little Dream down the road. But License to Drive, another one. Another movie right there, License to Drive. Who was supposed to be in the film? Corey Feldman was supposed to be the star in License to Drive. And who got the role? Corey Haim. And in the entire movie, Corey Haim did not close his mouth. Back then when he always act with his mouth open. In the whole movie, his mouth was like this. Throughout the entire movie, his mouth is wide open. Yeah, he did. Haim did a great job in the film. I'm just saying he was all upset at himself because he was like, man, I got my mouth wide open in every single film. I mean, every shot. And Feldman was ticked off because that was another film he was supposed to be the lead to, and he lost it to Corey Haim. So he was, ticked off about that. But there was his buddy there. They both got the roles to where they did the same thing. Like, we're going to keep these guys together in movies. Next thing you know, every teen magazine, they got them together. The two Coreys. So their agents start working together to market them. They weren't even in a movie. They were like Justin Bieber. See, this is back when magazines was everything. It was like social media. The Right On magazines and all that. They were the teens in every single shot. The two Coreys. Their movies wasn't breaking records. But as far as the teenagers loved them. If they'd have just put in more work together, they'd have done tremendous amount of numbers. They didn't know how to reel it all in. And dream a little dream of me, man. With Merida, that was it. Then the death of River Phoenix. Tragic. River Phoenix and his brother and all of them, they always tried to cover it up. And that's what ended up. They could have saved that kid's life. They knew he was doing drugs. But they covered it all up. Oh, River was a great actor. Great actor. Had a terrible drug problem. But he didn't used to do drugs at first. But like his family, they all ended up doing drugs. Y'all know his brother is Joaquin Phoenix, right? Yep, and Johnny Depp's club, the Viper Room. Johnny Depp was there. He actually went up there and played with Johnny Depp's band. And that night, they wouldn't let him play because he was so messed up on drugs. Johnny Depp would normally let him play. But what he did was, he shot some heroin in his system, snorted it. It brought him down. Then he used cocaine to try to speed himself back up and catch up to himself. Because he knew he lowered himself too low. And it was just too late for him. He was throwing up everywhere outside. That when they got him on the thing, they normally give him an injection, which would block all the toxins, all the effects that it would have on the brain. Wasn't enough. It wasn't in time. And then they waited too long to call the actual 911. How old was River? Jeez, like what, 21? 22, maybe? Tragedy. And see, they were all, his brother and all of them, their parents were into like astrology. So all of them they were like all into the earth. They were really weird people. Joaquin Phoenix, his name was Leaf. His name, he was always already acting. He changed his name to Joaquin. His name was Leaf. It was River Phoenix and Leaf Phoenix. He changed his name to Joaquin. They had a sister, I think her name's Autumn. You had Autumn, Leaf, and River. The friend was Cosmic Wonder Crockett. And then his brother name was something like what was it? Dopper or something. They had some crazy name. I'm not. If I found my yearbook, I'll tell you right now. His name was Cosmic Wonder Crockett. Crockett is his last name. Cosmic Crockett. And his middle name was Wonder. His brother's name was like was even weirder. And they was like, oh, his folks are into astrology. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, cosmic. Yeah, but let me go in here and get caught up so I don't have to be working on the 4th. I can chill and relax. Y'all have a good night. I'm out.